So to respect the people who have already joined, welcome to the East Central and South Africa Microsoft Excel Forum, brought to you by Crisp Excel Training and Consulting. If you want to support the webinars, please subscribe and of course to our YouTube channel, and you can also see the number of other webinars that we have hosted. Our topic today is two-page Power BI report, and our presenter is our famous and our beloved guest presenter, Ellen. Ellen, are you there?
Okay, so good day everyone. Happy Saturday. So today we will learn how to prepare two-page Power BI report. Okay, so two-page Power BI report. So let's get started. So first thing is I'll try to show, because maybe some of us are very new to Power BI. So I'll show you how we can download Power BI desktop. Okay, so just see, if you are very new to Power BI, don't worry. This session caters beginner, intermediate, basic, and also advanced, little bit of it. So how we can actually download Power BI desktop? Okay, so if you want to download Power BI desktop, make sure you are using your Windows laptop, because Power BI is not available in MacBook. It's only the cracked version, or you have to use your Unity version. So in order to able to use the Power BI desktop, you must ensure that you are using a Windows laptop. A Windows laptop means it can be Lenovo, Acer, Dell, or HP. So how we can download Power BI desktop is, we need to actually go to Microsoft Store. As you can see over here, the keyword is Microsoft Store. I believe that in the age of smartphones, where some of us are using iPhone, some of us are using a normal Android phone, the same thing, every phone we have an App Store, or Apple Store, a Play Store. So same thing, we do have a Microsoft Store in our laptop. You need to go to type here store. So my dear friends, can you just show love emoji, or you can just show thumbs up emoji if you can see the word here Microsoft Store. Okay, so if you look here carefully, there is a word Microsoft Store. So you just click it over here, and then in this Microsoft Store, where you can actually download your Power BI desktop. So you can just click it here, type here the word Power BI desktop. When you type Power BI desktop, you will notice that over here there is a app dedicated name called Power BI desktop. You click it over here, then you will notice the rating can change. It can be 4.8, 4.7, but that doesn't matter. What matters is Power BI desktop, and you can click it download, you can click it get over here. Once you click it over here, then you can actually download your Power BI desktop, and eventually you can open your Power BI desktop. So let me just open to show you what is the interface of Power BI desktop. So our motive of today is, we want to actually create a two-page report in Power BI. I got shared in the WhatsApp group our data, but I'll show you what is our data. So let me just click it over here. So I'm going to open this file. Okay, so this is the file. I can actually share to you in the WhatsApp group later. So let me just open this. So we are going to use this particular data source. So what is our data source is, we have three different reports: inventories, CRM, sales order. So what we are going to do is, let me just show to y'all. So we are going to use a oil and gas data source. So in this data source, we do have three different worksheets. Some people will call it tab, some people will call it sheets. So we have three different worksheets, which includes the inventories, because when you work in a supermarket or you work in a retail, you will notice every company, some companies that deals with trading or retail, they will definitely have inventories. Inventories basically is the product that's being sold. For example, if you go to Walmart, you can buy a product. When you go to Amazon online, you can also buy a product. So inventories. So this is an oil and gas company, and their inventories, as you can see over here, this is the inventories. They deal with fueling equipment, they deal with compressor, fuel dispenser. Normally, if you go to a petrol station, you will actually try to fill petrol in your car. So one of the item used is fuel dispenser. Fuel dispenser is normally commonly used in a petrol station. So just let me show to you so that you can get some understanding. So I'll show you fuel dispenser. So this is what fuel dispenser is. So there are companies, oil and gas companies, which actually produces the fuel dispenser. Okay. So this is our data regarding fuel equipment. So this is the inventories. The second report is the CRM, Customer Relationship Management. So I'm going to go to my report over here and I'm going to write CRM, which means Customer Relationship Management. This is our data source. So normally there are a department called a receivable department, account department, which actually deals with the customer. When you talk about customer, you're talking about a customer who buy your product. We have the customer ID, we have the customer, we have the person in charge, the email, and also the location of the company, like Nairobi, and then Abidjan, and also so on, Mombasa, and also on. So there is a dedicated worksheet on CRM. Now, next thing is the transaction, the sales order. So in 2024, we do have the transaction, we have the invoice number, we have the customer ID, the inventory, the quantity, and the price per unit. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write here, the next one is the sales transaction table. So from this given data sort, just say you join a company to work as a data analyst, you will have sometimes more than 5 different files. But in today's case study, we only have 3 different worksheets: inventories, CRM, customer transaction table. So my dear friends, do you understand? As for now, if you understand as for now, can you show thumbs up emoji? Okay, so this is a data set regarding an oil and gas. So I will appreciate if you can show thumbs up emoji so that we can proceed to the next part. Okay, how about others? Can you show some love emoji? Okay, so I will try to proceed. Okay, now what we are going to do is we want to prepare a 2-page report. If you look carefully, this is a Excel file. So when we go to our Power BI, we need to actually import the data. When we go to Power BI, we need to import the data. In Power BI, you can actually click on Get Data. If you want to import from a CSV file or from a notepad, or if you just say you have a data from Google Sheet or from the website, you can go from the web, or you can click more over here, and from the more you can actually get data from PDF, or you can also get data from folder. But our report, if you look here carefully, the report is in an Excel file. The format is in an Excel format. So that is why you can actually either click over here, import data from Excel. You can click over here, or you can also click over here, import data from Excel. The question is why I click here? Because my data source is in Excel. So I click it from here. So once I click it over here, you will notice a box will appear. So my dear friends, can you show thumbs up or can you show love emoji if you can see this box over here? Can you see this box? Maybe can you show some love emoji if you can see? Okay, you might be wondering why suddenly you have to show thumbs up and love emoji. You have to understand the session is actually conducted via online. It's an online class, right? So I'm afraid what if my internet connection is slow? What if just say your internet connection is fast? So we have to make sure that everyone is on the same page. Okay, so just show thumbs up again, my dear friends. Okay, so if you notice carefully, when I click on Excel workbook, a box will appear. So this is where you need to know where you saved your file and what is your file name. When you work in a company, you can save your file in a desktop, you can save your file in downloads, documents, or in a shared disk or OneDrive. But in this file over here, this particular file, I save in a desktop, and the file name, if you look carefully, the name of the file is Excel file material. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to the desktop. I'm going to select 9 August. This is the folder. The name of the file is Excel file material. And then I'm going to press open. Once I press open, you will notice that it will be navigated to Power Query. Okay, if you notice over here, a box will appear. So if just say I click transform, it will be navigated to Power Query Editor. But if you may ask me, what is the CRM, inventory, sales order? Well, if you remember, let me go to my Excel file. When I click on Excel file, these things over here is what they call the tab. In Excel, we call this as worksheet, or we can also call it as a tab. So this is the name of the tab. So in this Power BI, they will ask us which tab you want to choose. Well, I want to choose all of these. So I select the CRM, select all these, and then you can actually go to transform data, or you can press load. By pressing load, it will automatically load the data to Power BI. By pressing load, it will automatically load the data in Power BI. If you press cancel, it will cancel off. But when you press transform data, it will go to Power Query. When you click on transform data, it will go to Power Query. So my dear friends, can you see this transform data? If you can see transform data, can you just type number 1 in the chat box? So instead of showing emoji, can you type number 1 if you can see transform data over here? Okay, just let me know if you have any questions on the way, so I can actually address your concern. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on transform data. So you might be wondering what is transform data and so on. So before that, I need to actually explain to you. Let me explain to you. So now if you notice carefully, what we are learning is we want to prepare two-page report in Power BI. Two-page report in Power BI desktop. Okay, you have to understand one thing. The first thing is Power BI, there are 5 Ds in Power BI. There are 5 Ds in Power BI. The first one is data visualization. That means it is able to produce visuals like dashboards, like graph, charts, column, maps. Number 2 is data cleaning. That means it can actually transform and clean data. Number 3, data modeling. Data modeling means it is able to connect 3, 2 or more tables. Then you also have DAX. This is a measure, this is a formula, this is a function, also known as data analytic expression. And the last one, very, very important, is data storytelling. So when we learn Power BI, our important thing is we are producing data visualization, and more importantly, you also need to able to give a story behind the numbers, the story behind the data. So now what we want to do is we want to create a two-page report. What is our data? This is our data. So now when we go to Power Query, we will perform a data cleaning so that the data will be cleaned into a structured table. So now let me go to my Power BI. If you look here carefully, this is our data. It is not in a proper table. So what I need to do is I need to clean the data so that the data is clean. So now if you look here, this first column is not necessary because it has null. In Power Query, if you notice carefully, the word here is null. What null means? Null means, that means it is a blank cell. That means when I go to my Excel file, if you see over here, here we have a blank cell. A blank cell in Excel means nothing. So the same thing in Power Query, instead of showing blank, it will show us null. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and I'm going to press right click. You can use your mouse. In your mouse, you have the left click and the right click. So what you do is you press the right click and you click remove. So my dear friends, can you show thumbs up emoji if you can see the word here remove? Remove means it will delete the column. So my dear friends, can you show thumbs up emoji if you can see remove? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click remove over here. So your column 1 has been removed. Now what I want to do is I want to remove the first row, the second row and third row because this tree is not necessary. Over here we have the word remove row. So I click here, I choose remove top row. Why I choose remove top row? Because the first row, second row third row is not necessary. So I can remove the first 3 rows. So remove top row. It's located at the top. How many rows? 1, 2, 3. So 3 and I press OK. So now we have actually removed the first 3 rows. Then the next step is here we have customer ID, customer, person in charge and all these things. So what I want to do is I want to put this first row as the header because instead of column 1, column 3, column 4 as the header, I want to put the first row as the header. So over here we have use first row as header. That means it will promote the first row as header. I click it over here and then you'll see it will be promoted as a header. So now our table is clean because initially the table is actually in this format, not so clean. But now when we clean the data, it's in a structured format. We are going to do the same steps in inventory listing. Okay, so now this is our report for inventory listing. So I'm going to right click here and I want to click on remove. So the first column is not necessary, we can remove. The first row, second row, third row, it's null. We want to remove. So remove row is not at the bottom, it is located at the top. So remove top row. And then what you do is how many row? 1, 2, 3. So 3 rows and then you press OK. Once you press OK, so now you have already removed the row. Then you want to put the first row as the header. So use first row as header. It is also available here or it is also available under transform. Under transform over here so it's available. You can actually try here as well. So use first row as header and just like that it will be promoted as the header. And then we are going to do the same things for sales order. So sales order, the first column is not necessary. So I'm going to press here right click and then I'm going to click here remove. Then I want to remove the first 2 row, row 1, row 2. So I go to home and then I click remove row, remove top row and then I put 2, I press enter. And then the first row I want to be the header. So use first row as header. And just like that, we have already cleaned the data. But now you need to understand, we are going to do some simple calculation. Over here, we have a database. The database is, this is quantity, this is unit price. This is 10 quantities, 24 quantities, 10 quantities, 4 quantities, and this is the price per unit. Again, I repeat, this is the price per unit. So 1 unit is about 7,000. 10 units means we must multiply. 1 unit is about 5,000. If 24 units, we need to multiply. So how to get the total revenue? So what you need to do, you need to select the 2 columns. You select these 2 columns. How I select these 2 columns? I use my mouse. I click on quantity. In your keyboard, there is a shift button. Again, I repeat, in your keyboard, there is a shift button. So click this. You need to use your 2 hands. So your mouse, you click on the unit price and your left hand press the shift button. Both at the same time. So you will select 2 columns. Okay. Once you select 2 columns, you need to go to add column. Under add column, you need to go to standard and then you need to go to multiply. Why multiply? Because I want to get the total revenue. This is per unit. This is number of quantities. So I multiply. And just like that, this is the multiplication. So here I'll put here as total. You want to put total sales also can or total revenue also can. So if you notice carefully, this is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. This is ABC. What is ABC means? ABC means, that means it is a text format. What is text? That means if you see here, all this is in the form of letters or words. When it is a letter or alphanumeric, that means number and letters, it will show you it's in a text format. What is 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3 means whole number. 1, 2, 3 means whole number. But if you look here carefully, let me scroll to the right. When I scroll to the right, the date issue, we have ABC 1, 2, 3. So my dear friends, can you see this word here? ABC 1, 2, 3. If you can see ABC 1, 2, 3, can you just show thumbs up emoji? Okay, so here I'm going to click on the ABC 1, 2, 3. Why? Because here the problem is Power Query don't really know what is the data. Because we have a date, and then we have date and time. So what I want to do is I'm going to click on this ABC123 and I want to change to a date format so that everything appears in a date format. So once you are done, you go to home and you click close and apply. So once you click close and apply, you will notice that it will go back to Power BI. And this is where we want to actually produce some fascinating visuals. So now we do have this data over here. Okay, so now let me just minimize this. So I'm just going to expand. So let me show you how I'm going to expand over here. So now we have this data like CRM, inventories, sales order. So what I want to do is, first thing is I want to actually want to know who is my top customer. So I'm going to click on this visual called clustered bar chart. So my dear friends, can you see clustered bar chart? If you can see clustered bar chart, can you just show thumbs up emoji or maybe show love emoji if you can see clustered bar chart? Okay, so I'm going to click on clustered bar chart. It will pop out over here. So I want to know who is my customer and I also want to know what is my total sales. So over here, it will show me what is the details. So this is the details, like we have Eco Industry, we have these companies and so on. If just say your manager wants to know the label because you want to know whether it's how many millions, you can actually click on format your visual. In Power BI, this is the most common feature, format your visual. So if you have a pen and paper, you can actually write this down. Under the visualization, we have an icon called format your visual. The format your visual is used to edit your color. You want to change color, you want to put label, you can go over here. So I click it over here and I want to on the data label. So I on the data label. From here, we can see the details. So let me just scroll down, put it down. So, but what if just say your manager don't want to see everything? Because when we present a report, we are presenting to the stakeholders, to the board of directors, to the CEO, to the head of department, to other departments and so on. So your manager don't want to know entire listing. Your manager wants to know the top 10. How to do top 10 in Power BI? Here we have filter. So my friends, can you show thumbs up if you can see the word filter over here? Can you see filter? Okay, so customer is all. So instead of customer all, you need to click over here. I don't want basic filtering. I want top N. Top N means maybe it can be top 10, bottom 5, top 3, bottom 2, and so on. So you can either choose top or bottom. I want to choose top 10. So I press 10. And if you notice, I'm not able to apply filter. Why? Because I want to know top 10 by what value. So I need to drag the total sales. You need to use your mouse. Drag the total sales and put it over here. So drag it and put it over here. Now you are able to press apply filter. You press it over here and just like that, it will show you the top 10. If just say you want top 3, you can click it here and apply filter. It will show you top 3. If just say you want to know bottom, you click it over here, apply filter, it will show you bottom. So this is how you can actually play around with your filter. So I want to show top 10 and I want to click apply filter. So now this is the details. Next, I also want to create a map, a visual that shows from January to December. So I'm going to click here, clustered column chart. So my dear friends, can you show thumbs up if you can see clustered column chart? Okay, so I'm going to click here, clustered column chart over here. Okay, so let me just arrange accordingly. So now we have this data. Let me just arrange this. Okay, and I turn on. I want the quarter and I want the month. So we have the quarter and month. Maybe I on the year. So, and I want the total sales. So here we have 2024 and also 2025 until August. So this is January, February of 2024 and 2025. And then what I want to do is over here, we have like a magnify glass. If you see here, there is an icon name. Icon looks like magnify glass, which can add further analysis. So my dear friends, can you see this icon? If you can see the icon, can you show thumbs up or can you show love emoji? Okay, I'm going to click it over here. And then I'm going to put here on, click here and just put on add line. So here we have the details over here. So this is the details that indicate that this is average. So you can just put the line instead of this blue color. Maybe I want to put as dark blue. So we have this color And yes, so maybe instead of 100%, 0% transparency, and then I put here as solid. So you will have this color over here. Okay, so we can get to understand. Or maybe you want to put a different color, so can. Maybe I will put here light blue. So we have a light blue. And this one also I'll just change to maybe a different color. Columns, and I put here dark blue. It depending on you, how you want to play around. So this line here can actually tell us what is the average performance. Okay, now what I want to do is, I want to click on a slicer. So my dear friends, can you see a slicer? If you can see a slicer, can you show love emoji? Okay, so I'm going to click on a slicer and I want to click the date. So from here, what I can do is I can actually show to my manager. Maybe let me just click here. So if just say my manager wants to know, maybe from 1st April 2024 to 1st August 2024. So I'll just go here, 1st April, and then I go here. I'm going to click on August 1st, and there you go. So this is how you can actually interpret the data very well. And not only that, just to let you know, here we have these details. Here we have all this. I also want to show icon, or maybe show another visual card here. And let me just, even you can just choose this visual as well, card new. And I want to show the total sales. So my manager can see that for the total sales is about 13 million from 1st April to 1st August. So if just say I want to know maybe from 1st June. So I click here 1st June, and then maybe I want to know until 31st August. So this is how you can see the numbers. This is how you can interpret the data. And here you can, if just say you want to change the numbers, you can just change the numbers and so on. So here we have this layout, and yeah, this is the details. Okay, so now we have this data. We have this visual, we have this one page that shows us the performance on monthly details, and will also shows us the performance of the top 10 customers. Now what I want to do is I want to create another page. I'll create another page, and this one I want to show based on location. So I'm going to click on the slicer, and I want to click on the state. So here we have several location. So what I want to do is I'll go to format your visual, slicer settings. Okay, remember, if you have a pen and paper, you can write this down. Format your visual is the place where you can just make editing, or you want to change coloring. So over here we have slicer settings. I want to click here on tile, and I want to adjust this accordingly. So now we have all the particular cities in Africa, like Nairobi, Nakuru, Mombasa, and so on. So what I want to do is I want to click on a field map. So my dear friends, can you see field map? If you can see field map, can you show thumbs up? Can you see field map, my dear friends? Okay, so I'm going to click on field map, and then I just want to tick on state. So now if just say when I click on Abidjan. So Abidjan is basically a location in Africa. It is actually in Ivory Coast. So I'm going to click it over here. So this is the location. Okay. So if just say I want to know about Kenya, so I can click on Nairobi. So Nairobi is located in Kenya. Then you can click on Nakuru and Mombasa, Kampala, Dodoma. Cape Town is located on the tip, which is in South Africa, Arusha, and so on. So this is how you can actually play around. But in real working world, your manager will not see what is in the field map. Instead, the manager wants to see what's the performance of the details, can be inventories or customer. So what I want to do is I want to click on here. Wait, let me just go to your model view. When I click on model view, this model view is what they call as data modeling. If you remember just now, I think few minutes ago, I got explained to you, in Power BI, it's all about the 5Ds. Data visualization, data cleaning, data modeling, data storytelling. And also we have another one called DAX. But now what I'm going to teach you is data modeling. Data modeling means its ability to connect two or more tables. So I will try to go to here. Here, if you notice, this is sales order. This is CRM. If you notice carefully, there is a line over here, like a bridge, which connects the CRM table to sales order. If you notice is there is an automatic connection. Why? Because here we have customer ID. Over here we have customer ID. If the spelling is the same, then automatically they will recognize the two common columns located in these two different tables. When the spelling is the same, they will able to recognize these two different tables. But if you note over here, here we have inventory code. Here we have inventory code. The spelling is the different. So it is not able to recognize automatically. What you need to do is you need to manually connect the data. So inventory code, you drag, you put it over here. You drag and put it over here. You will notice a box will appear. This box indicates there is a new relationship. So here got inventory code. Here inventory code. The cardinality is many to one. Many to one means the data here appear more than one time. One means here is a unique item. Okay. If you don't understand, never mind. I can explain to you in detail later. So I'm going to press here save. So automatically there is a relationship. The star over here indicates that this is many and this is one. So I'm going to go to my report over here. I just want to tick on my inventories. So here we have the list of inventories. And then what I want to do is I click on total sales. So we get to understand that inventories over here got 145. I click on Cape Town. We have about 890, Dodoma, Nairobi, and so on. And then if just say you want to actually make this the size of the table bigger, you can go to click it over here. Go to format your visual. So here we have values. And then I'm going to put here just say 20. So now it looks bigger. And then if just say you want to make the header bigger, column header, you put here 20. But if you notice carefully, the numbers is very difficult to interpret because normally in accounting, we need to have a comma. So how to put the comma? You click on total sales, click it over here, and you click on this comma over here, also known as the thousand separator. So my dear friends, can you see this thousand separator? If you can see this thousand separator, can you show thumbs up? So I'm going to click on thousand separator. So over here, it will help us to indicate, okay, which is the highest. And then I can actually click over here to actually arrange the data. So in Nairobi, what we can understand is compressor is the highest inventories. The inventories with the highest sales is compressor. When we click on Abidjan, when I click on Abidjan, fuel dispenser is the highest. And not only that, we can also show the percentage. That means I just go where I click over here, add data to your visual. I put the total sales, drag it over here. So here we have two numbers. I click here, I show value as. So we have a word called show value as, and we can click on percentage of grand total. Click it over here. So now we have the percentage of grand total. All right. And then, yeah, this is the details. So here we have 73, 40%, and so on. So when I click on Arusha, I click on Cape Town, I click on Dodoma. So Dodoma compressor dominates the market by 80% or specifically 78.5%. When we look at Nairobi, Nairobi also compressor dominates the market, but it dominates about 40% of the market. So my friends, did you learn something new? If you learned something new, can you show thumbs up? So what we learned in this report, this page one is basically to show us who is the top 10 customers and also to show us the performance on monthly. That means if just say I click here, I choose January 1st, January 2nd until 31st December. So over here, it shows us the monthly performance and we get to know there's about 50 million sales just for 2024. And over here, we can see the details by the location. So my friends, did you learn something? So yeah, this is the 2-page report. So if you have any questions, you can type your questions or you can also unmute, my dear friends.
So thank you, Ellen. If you want to unmute, please raise your hand. I will unmute you. But there's a question in the chat. Can we show numbers in the map? That's the question.
I think the chat, yeah.
Saidi, you can unmute yourself, but in the meantime, maybe you can answer the question about showing the number in the map.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think in the some of the total cells, I think you have to edit this to be total cells. So how can we edit it, that one?
You mean you want to edit the name?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can actually go to this build visual. Can you see sum of total cells? And you can actually remove this. If just say you want to improvise, you don't want the sum of, you can double click over here. So did I answer your question? Is this your question actually?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So you can actually put the percentage over here instead of just, you can just press enter, and this is how it works.
Yeah, I saw there's a lot of similarities with the pivot table. So if you know a bit of pivot tables, you can transfer those skills.
Yes, exactly. Crispo. Saidi, if you have questions, you can just clarify your question. But just to recap here, if you know Excel, it's actually possible for you to learn Power BI, because if you know Power Query is also available in Excel. If you know pivot table, you can learn Power BI. If you know slicer, in Excel we have a slicer. You can also learn Power BI. And we have in Excel called VLOOKUP, or some people will say XLOOKUP. In Power BI, we use the term called data modeling. So we can actually connect. We don't have to do manual VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP. So if you know this, you can actually learn Power BI easily. And of course, in Excel, we have all the charts like column chart, bar chart. The same thing in Power BI, we have all these visuals. So if you know Excel, you are able to learn Power BI easily. So yeah, anyone with any questions? Maybe Saidi, you want to ask another question?
No, there was a question in the chat.
Oh, I can't see the chat.
Yes.
Wait, let me just stop sharing because my device is not able to see the.
The question was, can we show numbers in the map?
All right. Actually, show number in a map, the total sales. That is a tricky question, but I mean, good question. But normally what we can do is we can show the coloring. That means you go to format your visual. So over here, the fill colors, you can show the coloring. That means like what is the highest and so on. So when I click it over here, so just say I want to know based on the fill. Okay, this one based on, maybe let me just scroll down. I put here total sales, and I don't want roles. I want maybe by fill value. Yes, and I press total sales. Okay, maybe not here. Maybe I'll just choose gradient. Yep, there you go. And yes, this is the total sales. Okay, so when I just click it over here, let me just clear. So what you can see is over here, maybe let me just zoom this so that you can see clearly. So I go to controls, I turn on the zoom button. Wait, let me just click it here. Okay, so what you can see is all these details. So the coloring means it's a darker. So let me just zoom this again. Okay, so this is the colors. Like yellowish means it's in between. And then over here, we can see the colors, like blue color means indicate is high and so on. Okay, so if just say you want to see a visual, that means a numbering, what you can do is, all right, so I need to change here. Just say I choose on fill map. Okay, this is how you can see the labels actually. Okay, so did I answer your question? Just let me know if I did. So if you want to show numbering, basically you can try here, category labels. It will show you the labels, but it will not show you the numbering as well. So Rohit, did I answer your question?
Yeah, it says yes. Okay, so there's no way to show the total sales. You just
I think there should be a way. Actually, it's just that I'm not well aware, but there should be a way somehow to show, because we can actually ask ChatGPT and so on. There should be a way actually to show the numbers. It's just that I'm not really sure on this.
Okay, fair enough. Michael is saying that the relationship is also the same as relationship in Power Pivot.
Yeah, Python, Power Pivot as well. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I need to see the question. Relationship, yes, same in Power BI, but the best thing is if you look at Power Pivot, okay, if you look on Power Pivot is not able to cater one-on-one relationship, right? Okay, so let me just click here and let me clarify what is cardinality. So cardinality means here we have like one many to one, many to many. In Power Pivot, similarly, Power Pivot can cater many to one. But can Power Pivot cater one to one? Well, not really. This is why in Power Pivot, we need to create a dummy table dedicated for like a bridge to connect the data. But in Power BI, we can cater many to one, many to many. So what is many to one? What is one to one? Well, let me show you. So if you look here carefully, there is a star over here. What this star means? Star means it's many. What number is this? This is number 1. That means the data appear one time. So to explain to you all, let me show you. So if just say I go to this particular table and just say I click on these particular details. Just say I untick, I select 001 ST and I press OK. So when you look over here, the 00110ST, it appear only one time. It only appear one time. We have a one list, Markias Incorporation, Susan, Nairobi, 30 days. This list appear one time. So let me just clear. So this data means one means it only appear one time. Now let me go to another table, the table of sales order. And let me click on customer ID. I unselect all. I select 001 ST. I press here OK. This one, if you notice, it is appearing more than one time. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have more than one time. When it is more than one time, we call it many. When it is more than one time, we call it many. So that is why here, the star indicates many, which means the customer here, if you see here, the customer ID appear more than one time. That is why it is a star. One means it is a unique item. That means it appear one time only. So it's similar to Power Pivot, but it's just that Power Pivot is not able to cater one to one. So did I answer your question? You can just type yes or no if I did. So yeah, anyone with any questions?
So if you edit the column name inventory code and look the similar inventory code and in another table, can it detect the relationship?
Yeah. If just say you edit the name, okay, for example over here, thank you Saidi for your question. If just say I just right click this, okay, I right click and I delete. Okay, yeah, let it broken, let it have error. It will have an error over here. Okay, so let it have error. So now if just say to answer your question, if we put the same name, inventory code. So I'll go to transform data. Okay, this is Power Query. So here, if you notice in inventories, the name is inventories code. I'm going to do what? I want to copy this and I go to sales order and I want to paste it over here so that the spelling is same. So if you notice, I change the name. I press enter. I change the name. I press close and apply. Once I press close and apply, eventually you will notice, okay, so this one, they never load yet. Sometimes what happens is it will automatically detect. So over here, it will automatically delete, but now mind, it never detects, now mind, we can just manually connect the table and then we press save. Because if just say your original table is the same, it will automatically detect. So Saidi, did I answer your question?
By the way, that's a very good question that
Yeah,
Saidi has asked. Yeah. How does it know that it's one to one, one to many?
Yeah, how does it know this? Because when you load in Power Query, it is able to recognize, like for example, I just right click over here and I click on properties. So just say when I click over here, so now of course the relationship is not same because it's a two different data. But if you notice, can you see the C? Is it appear one time or many times?
Many times.
Many times. So the thing is, how the Power Query and also data modeling able to recognize is by looking the rows of the data. Because when you load data to Power BI, it will detect what is the columns, what is the number of rows, and more importantly, what is the common column. So like if you see here 001 SFE, it appear one time, but here it appear many times. So that is why it is able to detect.
Okay. Okay. My question is, you did a bit of cleanup at the beginning. Is it easier to clean up your data at the source or to clean up your data at Power BI? Which is easier?
Yeah. That means I clean up which one? You mean
The
so you
removing of the, yes, changing the headers, removing of the nows. I
okay?
thought that would have been easier if you did it in Excel.
Yeah, we can actually do in Excel, but in the real working world, sometimes our data source we
Okay.
get from email. There are sometimes because there are some cases. Let me just show you a particular case. Okay, let me just go to downloads and let me just click over here. Okay, I'm going to show you an example. So yes, we can do in an Excel file, but sometimes the report is not in a proper format, especially when it's export from the system to
Okay.
Excel, you will have in a very messy format. So what we can do is, we can do in Excel, yes, but if we can do in Power BI, we can just clean the data and then eventually it will show us in a structured data. And then from there, we can able to build a visual.
Okay. 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 Anyone else with a question, you can lift your hand. I will unmute you. Otherwise, Michael has a question. Let me unmute Michael. You can unmute yourself, Michael.
Okay, thanks, Crispo. I also wanted just to know, you can see we are cleaning up, we are doing Power Query within Power BI.
Yeah.
We know that normally Power Query is able to refresh your data. So assuming our data is now again received a new file, does it also do all those steps within Power BI and does the cleaning before now moving to the level of moving the tables into Power BI?
Yes, he's able to refresh, as you can see over here. Thank you, Michael, for your question. Okay, number one is we can refresh. Can you see this icon? So if just say there's any changes in your number, you can refresh over here. Number one. Number two is, I understand like your concept is, your context of your question is, what if just say every month you get a different file? When you get every month a different file, it's a hassle for you to do changing every time. So this is where you can go to data source settings. You click on the data source settings and over here you will notice a box will appear. And then what you can do is you can click on change source. So Michael, can you show thumbs up if you can see change source? So you can just click the change source and then eventually if just say you have a January file, you click on browse. So from January you can change to February. February you can change to March. So Michael, did I answer your question?
Yes. Yeah.
So basically, number one is if they say any changes, okay, just see to answer your question. If they say I change, like for example, here we have 7997. I want to change. Okay, I go to my file over here. So I go to sales order. Here is 7997. I want to change to a big number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this number over here, once you make changes, you click on save. You click save. And then what you do is you go to your Power BI, you can click on refresh preview. Once you click, can you see there's a changes?
Yeah.
Yeah, refresh preview is one thing, or if you want to change the file, you need to go to data source settings. If you have any questions, you can ask. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe to add into what Michael has asked, if you are going to change the workbooks, then they must be in the same format.
Yeah, same format and same tab name. The tab
And the
name must
same,
be same.
yeah. Otherwise, the steps in Power Query is going to get mixed up.
Yes, error.
Okay, okay. And that's why for me, I was thinking, unless it's the same format and the same tabs, I think it's easier to clean it up in
Automate.
Excel. But there's both advantage and disadvantage.
Yes, pro and cons. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else with a question? This is a very good session. Let me unmute you, Sublata. Unmute yourself and ask a question. Sublata. You can unmute yourself. Okay.
Sir, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sir, you please show me in their card how to put image.
Okay, that is a nice question, but actually image, I haven't learned that. Okay, images, you can actually, this one I haven't tried. You can just click here. Okay, and maybe I'll just put a better image. I hope I have a proper image. Maybe I'll just put it over here and I press open. Yeah, can you see this?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the image that you can try. Maybe I just want to put as below text. Yeah, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so just to let you know how you can do it, you can click on the chart. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, from where I can get these images?
Images, the one is based on what you downloaded, because whatever you save in your computer, if you see here browse, can you see browse?
Browse.
Okay, you click browse. So it will ask you which image you want to choose, where you saved your image. Maybe I go to maybe pictures and certain images that you have, like your screenshots. Okay, like for example, I want to choose this image. I press open and then I just want to put it maybe.
Is there any
Did I answer your
specific
question
format?
actually?
Is there any specific format?
Okay. Regarding the format, as far as I know, it should be in either PNG format, JPEG format, any image format will do.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Asabens, you can unmute yourself and ask a question. Asabens, I hope I pronounced it right. Okay.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yes. I mean, with this one, if you want to do some DAX calculations,
Yeah, DAX.
Can you just illustrate just how you can do one DAX for us, please? Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so one of the DAX calculation that you can do, for example, over here, just say, let me just choose a simple DAX. Okay, wait, let me just, maybe I choose from January up to December 31st. Okay, so December 31st. So I'm going to show you a simple DAX measure. The DAX measure can actually shows us, like for example, data. For example, I click on this table, I click here month, and I click here total sales. So we have basically about 49 million. So what if just say you want to know year to date or you want to know previous month? What you can do is I just click on this database. So can you see here new measure? So I'm going to click here new measure. So DAX is one of it. So I click here and then I just want to put here maybe the year to date. Okay, so I'm going to type here calculate and then we have expression. So we want to know the sum. Sum of what? Sum of total sales. So I click here total sales, close bracket, and then I want to filter according to year to date. So I choose the dates year to date, and then I want it to be the date column because we have a column called date issued, dates, date, close bracket, enter. So once I click over here and just I tick the box. Okay, so when I tick the box, okay, sometimes it will appear. Okay, let me just move this. Okay, so why does it appear? Wait, let me just see. So this is the formula, calculate sum, correct? Sales, total sales. Okay, this is correct. Wait, let me just unselect and select this. Okay, sometimes it will work, sometimes it doesn't work, but never mind. Maybe let me show you another formula. Maybe how about previous month? Previous month, and then I
expand the
click
column.
Sorry?
Maybe if you expand the column.
No, it's expanding a column, not an issue. Wait, just give me a moment. Maybe I put your date. Okay, so date, close bracket. because expanding. Okay, so now it works. Okay, so this is one. Okay, it's nothing to do with expanding the column, not an issue. So year previous month, it will show you the previous month. Can you see? Okay, maybe I need to put in a proper format. This one I'll put here comma, and this one I'll just rename to previous month. Previous month. I need to check why year to date not working. Just give me some time. So this is what previous month is, like 2.8, 3.5, 3.4. Can you see this?
Yeah. For year to date, you need to do the dot date. If you can
I didn't
change
do
the
the.
formula and then you do the
Oh,
dot
okay.
date.
So right.
Yeah,
Wait, maybe let me
will
do.
show there. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Wait, just give me some time. Let me just do the year to date again. Okay, so year to date, I'll put here year to date, and I'll put here calculate sum and the sales close bracket. It's a date year to date, and this one is date close bracket. Okay, so let us see if it works. No, it isn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but never mind. I think this one I need to figure it out why. By right days to date will work, but I don't know why it doesn't work for this for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, by right date of year to date means will show us the cumulative. Or maybe I can try another formula. We have year to date as well. Year to date. Yeah, dates year to date, and we can try this or total year to date, something like this. Okay, so this is sum, this is sales, and close bracket, and then we have dates. Okay, still doesn't work. Okay, never mind. This one I need to figure it out why, but this is an example of a DAX whereby you can actually show us the previous month. It can actually show us selected value where you can select the slicer and so on.
Okay.
So yeah, did I answer your question, Abens?
Yes,
This is
you
one
did.
of the
Thank you.
decks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I'll copy this and I'll paste in the chat box.